Okay, so I had to do some even more troubleshooting. But anyways, first game of the year, first game of the new year. You'll never guess what it is. It's exactly what you'd expect. Hotline Miami. That's right. How do I? There we go. There we go. Yep. Anyways, Hotline Miami. Right now, no holds barred. Just some good old-fashioned Pigeon Milk Gaming Hotline Miami gameplay. No tricks. No butts. No cuts. No coconuts. Nothing at all. Just me and some Hotline Miami. And then January 2nd, second day of the new year, I'll be playing Hotline Miami 2, of course. Hope everybody's new year has been going well so far. For me, it's only been like 46 minutes of New Year's, so not much to report yet. I've got not a lot of problems in my life, anyways, to really think about. I'm getting older. I don't know if that's really a problem, but you know, it can be a little scary to think about for sometimes. You know, concept of time passing is hard for a lot of people. I would assume. I can say I've pretty much mostly grasped the concept of my mortality. It's but it's not something that you gotta dwell on, really. That's years in the future, realistically. I was thinking of starting a comedy gaming something or other with other people. That would be crazy, I know. But, you know. One thing I know I will continue to do through the new year till around summertime. I'm leaving the country. I don't know if I'll be able to stream in other countries. I might be able to if I get a laptop. But, yeah, until about the summer, I will still be gaming, obviously. It's in the name. Dang it. I will not be milking pigeons, though. Contrary to popular belief, I'm not pigeon milker gamer, I'm just pigeon milk gamer. Does not imply that I milk pigeons. I've never even milked a cow, to be fair. I'm not, I mean, I know of cockroach milk, but, I bet if somebody named themselves Cockroach Milk Gaming, nobody would think, oh yeah, they're gonna milk a cockroach. And that's just me personally, though. I know a lot of other people have different thoughts when it comes to that kind of stuff. Though I'm gonna stick to my guns and say, if you think that all because my name is Pigeon Milk Gaming, that I will at some point milk pigeons, you are sorely mistaken. And either you've been horribly deceived by a malevolent human being, or you just were too moronic to read beyond the lines. Read beyond the word, the very important meaning of my username. It means a lot to me, but that doesn't mean I'm a pigeon milker. Maybe I enjoy pigeon milk. Either way, if you thought I milked pigeons, you're a fool. Most people don't even want to say pigeon milk nowadays. They just say pigeon. Thing is, I'm not a pigeon. Also, I gotta change my profile picture. I don't know why it's still that. I'm actually gonna do that right now. There we go. The JPEG I found online. Beautiful. You saw it here first, folks. I changed my profile picture. Thank you very much. New year, new me, as I say. And I'm finally free from my shackles. You know, I can... The difference between me and a large content creator is that sometimes large content creators gotta play the popular stuff. And yes, Hotline Miami admittedly sold over 1 million copies, but Minecraft, you have to admit, Minecraft sold more than 1 million copies. Like a lot more. Or like mouth washing. Every single... How do I word this? Every single person on the internet has at some point seen, I would assume, or at least a good chunk. I'm not gonna make too many generalizations. A good chunk of the internet has to have seen mouth-washing content. Or, let's see what... You know, just anything that gets trendy for a little bit. You know, you don't really see, that many... And I don't think that there's really much of a place for Hotline Miami to start trending in this day and age. But, you know, anything's possible. I mean, the driving force of the gaming industry nowadays is money, so... If people do stop making good video games, then they'll just have to look in the past for good video games, and boom, Hotline Miami has a chance of being in the spotlight. Unfortunately for Hotline Miami, indie developers didn't stop existing in the year 2012. And they probably never will stop existing until most of humanity is dead, or somehow every single country is ruled by a brutal dictator. And I doubt, or at least I'd like hope, that the entire world isn't run by a brutal dictator, at least anywhere in my lifetime. Not to be selfish or anything, but once I'm dead, it's no longer my problem. I might go to hell for that one, but at the end of the day, why should I worry about people hundreds of years in the future being ruled by a brutal dictator? Why would I? It's not like I could stop it unless, I don't know, ghosts are real and are able to kill people. But I doubt it, because I feel like at some point I'd be killed by a ghost. Or like, you know, Jeffrey Dahmer probably had a ghost, and if ghosts could kill people, he'd probably still be killing random gay men to this day. I mean, they aren't random, but I bet he picked them by random. I think they were gay. I don't exactly understand that. You get the moral of the story. Speaking of Jeffrey Dahmer, I find it very strange that serial killers now get Netflix specials. And it reminds me of Hotline Miami 2, Manny Pardo. I think you'd be very excited to know that nowadays serial killers can get Netflix specials. I mean, I suppose it's no different than like movies or cable TV shows. But you know, there were people that were like, oh man, Jeffrey Dahmer looks so attractive in this new Jeffrey Dahmer TV show. And it's like, okay, maybe the actor, he's attractive to you, but that doesn't mean he's still playing Jeffrey Dahmer. And it's not just the looks either, you know. Personality is an important part of attraction, I would assume. So it's just something that doesn't make sense to me. Then again, lots of things don't make sense to me. Sometimes I feel like I'm already 50 with how quickly the world seems to change. I'm not even 20 yet. I mean, you know, new generation and all that. I mean, I'd say I did use the iPad a lot as a kid, but I did other things. You know. But now some of these parents, they're just going complete iPad, and look how the kids turn out. With gosh darn skibbity toilet, stuff like that. I don't think that I could handle being a parent, because I definitely wouldn't want my kid to turn out like some of the kids today, or, you know, really I wouldn't want them to turn out really. I'd say my life is pretty good, but, you know, I don't have the greatest grades. If I had a child, I'd want a child with better grades. But I digress. Because, you know, I'd also want a child who's better than me at Hotline Miami. I mean, I'm not terrible, but right now I feel like I am. I mean, I've only been going 15 minutes. That's pretty good. Maybe I can pick up the pace, though, you know. It's too bad that I didn't put a timer on this thing. This is still, no matter how you look at it, a pretty decent run. Definitely a lot better than my last one, where I kept restarting on the first level over and over again. I was good. I defeated Biker in a minute without dying even once. So, you know, this is going pretty good. Whenever I play Roblox using the voice chat, people think I'm like a grizzled old man. And I don't know if it's because of the way I talk or what I do. So that confirms that I am over the age of, what is it, like 13? I don't remember what the age is that you have to be to do the Roblox voice chat. I'm like 90% sure I was 13. I don't know why I did that. Okay. The brick has been introduced. Dang it. That did nothing. I don't know really what I'm doing here. Kind of just going with the flow, seeing where that leads me. And so far, it hasn't really disappointed. I will be taking that. I remember vividly that it's usually an armed man. Oh, it wasn't that time, of course. Oh boy. That was, I think, a save. I don't really know what happened. Dang it. There we go. That's a combo. For sure it is. I don't know why I said that. Sorry if my commentary is a little more lackluster than it usually is. I'm a little tired, and if my gameplay is a little more subpar than usual. Once again, I'm a little tired. When I release this to YouTube, anybody wants to watch a however long minute video, YouTube video, where I just talk with gameplay in the background. I don't really talk about anything of substance either. Yeah, if anybody watches it and gets to even the 20-minute mark, I'll commend them. And I'm a gosh darn medal. I don't really swear, because it's against my principles as a Christian man who only plays Christian games. I think we cleared them out. Thank goodness for the police. Speed flesh, that's not very good. But speed's not bad, so actually speed is pretty bad. Don't do speed. For the youngins, that's heroin. Speaking of heroin, I'm not mistaken, Sigmund Freud's first piece of literature was about cocaine. And the thing about cocaine is that Sigmund Freud genuinely thought that it was a miracle cure for heroin addiction. Which makes sense in retrospect, sort of. I don't know if I used retrospect right there, my apologies. Anyway, Sigmund Freud thought that cocaine was a cure for heroin addiction, which sort of makes sense because then you're addicted to cocaine instead of heroin. But I don't know why that wouldn't just cause the problem of two addictions to both heroin and cocaine. But yeah, Sigmund Freud was addicted to cocaine for a large portion of his life. It's entirely, I mean, not a large portion, but like a good chunk. It is a large portion, depending on how you describe a large portion of a man's life. I think it was at least 20 years. But yeah, anyways, the moral of the story is that the entirety of modern psychology is based off of the theories of a cokehead. So, you start to wonder about cults, in a sense. Because, you think to yourself, man, this guy's crazy. How could anyone believe him? But, an entire modern science is based off of the theories of a cocaine addict. So is it really that much of a stretch for somebody to assume that a guy ranting and raving about aliens from Mars or, like the Russians wanting to accept people, like whatever Jim Jones was talking about. I think it was about, if I'm not mistaken, he was like, the Russians want to talk with us, and the only way that we can make it to Russia is if you join my cult. And then after they killed the governor, it was like, the Russians are mad, so now you have to drink this Kool-Aid. Or it was like a celebration or something. No, I think it was the Russians are mad, so you drink this Kool-Aid, because if I remember correctly, you did have to force the Kool-Aid down, because people knew it was poison. That killed a lot of people. That was the second greatest American tragedy. You could probably guess the first. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to 9/11. Just in case you needed to hear it. That was the greatest tragedy of all the United States of America. Symbolized mostly the death of lots of people. But it also showed that America was not as strong as people originally believed. And, to be fair, the only way to return security was to kill Osama bin Laden. That doesn't mean I have to like George W. Bush. Do I have anything against him? No. But I mean, it's not like his administration even killed bin Laden. It wasn't until Obama. He just invaded Afghanistan. He didn't even get the job done. He should have, surely. Can't be that difficult. But, he just couldn't do it. It was really unfortunate. I mean, who doesn't root for George W. Bush? I mean, I don't personally, like I said. But, everybody in the world loves George W. Bush. And I'm talking about everybody. Even, like, liberals. Everybody in the world loves George W. Bush. But let's be honest, he wouldn't have been reelected if 9/11 didn't happen. I'm not implying anything, though. It kind of sounds like that I was implying that something about George W. Bush. Like one of those 9/11 truthers. Believe me, I do not think that George W. Bush had anything to do with the perpetration of the 9/11 attacks on the Twin Towers. I promise. And there's no buts either, in case you were waiting for me to say but. But my point does still stand. That's a but, my bad. There was one but, and the but is, but my point still stands. But I can't imagine that, you'd have to go that far in your campaign that, You have to kill thousands of innocents. Call me crazy. So that's why I think it's a bit of an absurd notion, though if evidence does come out that for some reason the Bush administration did have something to do with the attacks on the Twin Towers. This is such a crazy thing for a YouTube video or a Twitch stream. But anyways, I'll believe it when I see it. I don't know if I should post this one to YouTube. What was I really thinking with that one? Just, I should have stopped talking about 9/11 when I started, honestly. And I feel like I've just dug myself into a really deep hole by talking about the Bush administration. But, you know, whatever. Could be worse. For example, Ronald Reagan. Unlike the Bush administration, there's direct evidence of the Reagan administration causing AIDS. That's right. AIDS exists because of Ronald Reagan. Ronald Milhouse Reagan. No, sorry. No, Milhouse is Nixon's middle name. Dang it, what's Ronald Reagan's middle name? Ronald Wilson. My bad, guys. I got a bit confused on my Republicans there. Compared to Ronald Reagan, Richard Nixon is, you know, a priest. The Pope, even. I'm sorry. I don't mean to get political on New Year's Day. But man, I sure do dislike that Reagan after he caused all AIDS. Don't believe me? Ronald Reagan invented the human immunodeficiency virus. He created it. And there is no point in denying it, because there's proof from the CIA that Ronald Reagan contracted them to create HIV so that they could have the population of just people on Earth. Except they failed. And I think it was also Reagan that caused crack. I'm pretty sure it was him, if I'm not mistaken. Reagan's always the one being criticized for creating crack. In the Oval Office, mind you. He just created the crack cocaine, and there's nothing that can be done about that. And you know what? It was because he hates. Ronald Reagan does not care for cocaine addicts at all. And so he created crack. Just to mess with them. He was like, you know what, cocaine addicts? I'm tired of your garbage. And so then He decided to be extremely racist and put hundreds of kilograms of crack directly into black people's bodies. This is a true American fact. And you cannot convince... I don't even know if I could put this up on YouTube. I would assume I can. But, you know, if I had monetization... God. I would not have it anymore. Or just... I mean, Alex Jones didn't. He just started saying stuff. Yeah, then the next worst president, Andrew Johnson, you know, with genocide of the Native Americans via smallpox and guns, probably. And you know, forcing natives from their ancestral land to go live in Oklahoma. The worst state that he could have possibly found to put them. And then whoever brought law to the West, whoever did that guy, absolutely terrible president. Unless that happened to be Theodore Roosevelt. I love Theodore Roosevelt. He is the best president. Because I love imperialism so much. And love women as well, in case you wanted to know. Pidgey Milk Gaming is completely single for reasons unknown. And definitely not because of implying that Ronald Reagan made crack and AIDS. Or, you know, never doing anything other than playing Hotline Miami all day, every day for the next 26 years, probably. 26 is a good number. You know, next topic, now that we're away from talking about the worst presidents in American history, next topic is about something very political, something that I feel strongly about, and that's cultural appropriation. And how, and also the drug industry. You see, I feel like, you know, me personally, I think that making meth should be left to the people that are usually meant to make meth. That, of course, be people from the South. You know, New Mexico, Texas, Arizona, I think should work. Actually, wait. Yeah, I'll give it a slide. I'll give it a pass. Oklahoma, I guess. You know, all the... Not Nevada, though. Nevada has prostitution. That's what they're known for. Anyways, I think that making methamphetamine should be left to the professionals. Like, should Bryan Cranston really be playing a guy who makes meth? I don't think so. Like, sure, he's in the South, but I don't think that Bryan Cranston himself was born in New Mexico. So the question is, why is a non-Southerner playing a Southerner in a movie? That's like casting a... That's like casting a white man as Tinkerbell. No, that's like casting a blue man as Tinkerbell, even worse. I do not think... Next topic, let's see here. Old people, don't mind them. Next topic. The internet, kinda dumb. Next topic, AI. You think AI could put in all of the hard work of saying a bunch of unfunny nonsense for an hour and then while playing Hotline Miami and then go to bed like nothing ever happened? I don't think it could. And I don't think that it has a program to criticize itself. Because its whole purpose is to think it's always right. Because that's its job as a robot, is to be right, isn't it? They could never make this game, either. Actually, I'm gonna go back on that there. Small chance. Like if I said, code the entirety of Hotline Miami. Maybe it could do it, but I really, really doubt it. But anyways, where was I? Right. Yeah, no AI could recreate my voice perfectly. Because, I have very erratic speech patterns. I don't even have a consistent accent ever. Sometimes it's got a southern twang, and then sometimes you go eastern, and sometimes you just don't go anywhere at all. And it's, it is what it is, I guess, but... Anyways, where was I? Yeah, right, I remember now. Robots, stupid. There's not a single good robot in the world. I like bees, they're pretty cool. I have nothing against bees, so I think we should keep those alive. Rats, they don't really bother me, but I do know that some people gotta deal with rats. And, there should be no rats inside of people's homes. That's how you cause the plague. I don't know why I keep doing this. I'm so sorry to my one viewer. For, everything, ever, that's ever happened. In your life, I apologize for it. It doesn't matter if you're just a bot account. It's my sincerest apologies. I feel I've wronged you in a way that can never really be rectified. And truthfully, I feel as though there's blood on my hands. And I'll never be able to wash it off. No matter how hard I scrub. Like, Lady Macbeth in X5 scene 1 of Macbeth, where she's like, out, damned spot. That's like the one swear word, I think, in the entire play, actually. It's just the word damn. Once. And then, actually, I'm gonna take that back. There was probably a few other times, but I don't remember. All of this for some figgy pudding. Christmas. That's a Christmas, right? I don't know what's in figgy pudding. I think it's just like weird fruitcake. And I don't really know if I like fruitcake. I've never tried fruitcake. I've also never had a single sandwich in my entire life. I'm also a test tube baby, born from the remains of Godzilla. But unfortunately, something went wrong in the experiment, and it created a below average man. And that's how you have me. It's not that interesting when you put it in that way. It's got no pizzazz, as it were. And to be honest, I don't know. I don't know why I even try sometimes. Not to be a Debbie Downer. I'm killing them. Feel like killing them. But it's like, why do I even try to stream and do YouTube videos? I don't find myself to be very funny in them. You know, this was a 40-minute stream. My first ever Hotline Miami speedrun took 50 minutes. This random stream took 47 minutes.